Greetings folks, Chris here, and welcome yet again to Two and Proper's Citizen Carry channel. Folks, this is part 2 of Ruger's Light Carry 9 striker fired pistol. This is a single stack 9mm striker fired pistol by Ruger, and this is a part 2. And the reason I'm doing a part 2 is mainly because I have some more things to say about it, but mainly you remember, because you watch all of my videos, don't you? I had problems with the 4th and 5th round usually locking up on this thing and not loading, not chambering, which was really weird because it was usually just the 4th and 5th rounds. And I was perplexed, but I came to the conclusion on my own that it can't be the gun, because the 4th and 5th rounds are consistently numbered rounds. Not chambering usually boils down to it being a magazine problem. So I called the folks at Ruger and I said, I think it's a magazine. And then I told the guy the problem and he said, yeah, I think it's a magazine, after I told him the problem. And then in unison, he and I together said, I think it's the magazine. So what I did was I sent the magazine that came with the gun back to Ruger. He sent me this one right here, which I'm pretty sure it was this one. Let me see. Yep, here it is, made in the USA. I made note that the ones that they sent me were made in the USA. And then the one that I sent away for was made in Italy. And oh boy, I had this guy in my comment section lecturing me about having a loaded magazine on the table, because I said I never have loaded guns on the table, and he never yet sees me load a magazine on the table, but he's going to call this and say that it's a loaded gun because there's a magazine on the table. Oh, there's the door. I'll be right back. Okay, there's nobody. But anyway, so this guy was lecturing me about having the wait a minute. What the? Oh my God, he's right! I hate when my firearms go all autonomous on me and shit. Anyway, he was lecturing me about having the loaded magazine on the table, as if I was going to accidentally load a magazine and not be aware of it. So this is just a prop. Okay. Anyway, this magazine here was made in Italy. And so with both of the magazines, with the one that I purchased myself and with the one that Ruger sent me, I fired off over 150 rounds without a single hiccup. So thank you, sweet baby Jesus. No problems whatsoever. And I've got to tell you, folks, this is, and it is confirmed, the best single stack 9mm handgun that I have shot. The best trigger, folks, the best trigger. Now there's going to be a lot of people bringing the heat because there's a lot of Glock fans. There's a lot of those out there, and they can't bear to hear that Glock is not the best. But to me, folks, just to me, this is the best shooter, and it's the most concealable pistol, because you see how thin that is? Very thin. I was glad to see, again, that Ruger had corrected the problems that they had with the first one. This one does not have, as you can see, the loaded when up plank right here. That was a very unsightly eyesore, canker sore on the whole pistol. It's a striker fired handgun. As you can see, there's no hammer apparatus back here. This is the striker fired model. And I say that because I have had, well, let's go through the roster. I've had the Ruger LC9 standard, the hammer fired one, right? I had the Beretta Nano. I had the M&P Shield. I had the Taurus PT709. I had the Walther PPS M2. And I don't hold on to these guns. I usually only carry or keep one purposed gun. So I don't have all 5 of those guns laying around. I even got rid of the PPS M2. I usually trade so that I get at least some value back for them. But so I had all 5 of those before this, and I will tell you that this is the best trigger. This is the best shooter. So, and this shoots very accurately as well. While we're on about the trigger, let me demonstrate the trigger. I realized that in the first video about this very handgun, I neglected to demonstrate the trigger. I so selfishly kept it to myself. Now the trigger is outstanding, and I've got to say that this is probably about 4.5 to 5 pound trigger, and it is very smooth. The fact that there's any sort of take up whatsoever does not bother me, right? All right, let's bring it up close. Right here, there you go. You see it's got the safety dingus on there. And then, right? I'll do it for you again here. That was the reset. Look at that. There's that little bit of take up, and then there's the wall, and then a smooth. It is a really light trigger. And the reset, you can feel the reset. It's just not a hard tack kind of sound like you get with your Glocks and everything, but you know when it resets. And then there's little take up after the reset, and then into the trigger pull. For a lot of people, because of how light that trigger is, they're going to be glad that this safety is here, which is easy to engage and disengage. And I was also, and I should get this out there right now, I was incorrect about whether or not this was the end of the Ruger LC9S and the LC9s Pro. As you remember in my first video, I was saying that Ruger discontinued it. Well, I was wrong. I found out that I was very wrong about it. When I was talking to the people at Ruger, they said, no, we didn't discontinue it. It's just that we're having a hard time keeping them in stock. So I left a message to that one dealer that was putting out that Ruger LC9S and LC9s Pro were discontinued, and I let them know that the people at Ruger told me that they are indeed to be continued. So you don't have to get the EC9S, but I've got to tell you folks, I'm looking at that EC9s2, and I'm not going to get it because I have this already, but it's supposed to be a good little gun for the money. It's just supposed to be more economical with the sights being milled into the slide and all that other stuff, and the different texturing and the less serrations and all that stuff. But I am told that the EC9S is a fantastic gun. So if EC9S is all that's available and you've got about $220 burning a hole in your pocket, go and get it. Check around, look at Bud's Guns, look at some of the other ones, Grab a Gun, look at Hyatt Guns, look at Classic Firearms and all those, and see what they've got. And folks, don't forget to check us out and subscribe to us on Patreon. Patreon is the way now that we can get things done, as it appears that YouTube has, in conjunction with not wanting to be embarrassed by the media and advertisers, and squelched our ability to gather funding in order to be able to continue to bring productions. Of course, they can fund rappers, people that swear nudity and stuff like that, but they can't fund us. So Patreon is the way. Subscribe to me on Patreon, please. And that way I can continue to bring you the best content that I can bring you as a result of whatever funding I'm getting. And folks, I want to thank the 3 patrons that I've got right now. Out of 5,000 subscribers, I've got 3 patrons. Oh my God, how dismal. People! Anyway, please check me out on Patreon. I want to be able to bring you much better, much more exciting content. And I want to thank the people that have subscribed again. You know, it has enabled me to get targets and stuff like that. So folks, don't forget to check out 2 and Proper. That's the number 2, the letter I, on Patreon. Thanks for watching, folks. God bless America, and keep on protecting yourselves, your country, your family, your flag, and its honor. It is always the right thing to do.